Hi there, I'm Stephanie Reese with Maureen Bradley Designs, and today I am back. I've been away for a little bit. It's probably been a month since my last video, but today I'm back, and I've been on a little bit of a hiatus working on other projects and collaborations and having a wonderful time. But I realized last week that I haven't made a video here for YouTube. So I'm back, and I have hopefully a fun project here for you today, something simple. I did a collaboration last month with Jesse James Beads where we were looking at just simply handmade gifts for gift giving. And I wanted to share with you something that I made for this collaboration. And I thought it was really special that, you could sit down and make something in an hour and have something really special as a gift for someone. I use what's called these tools here. These are called one-step loopers. And I have two sizes, so I tend to use the smaller one for the loops. It looks like it makes maybe a 4mm or maybe 5mm loop, but it's a really simple tool that you can use to make some chain or beads or loops or even earrings that may help you during this time where it's so busy and you don't have a lot of time to create. So I wanted to share this with you. I had a lot of questions when I posted the design, and when Jesse James Beads posted the design. I had a lot of questions about what was the tool that I use, how do you use it. So this video is dedicated to the one-step looper and how you can make some simple chain or even some simple earrings as gifts. Hang on while I turn the camera down. So just really quick, this is the necklace that I made for Jesse James Beads. This is the one that I made a little Christmas tree with a check bead, and I used their beads from their website and also this beautiful cog chain. And so this is the beaded links that I made using the one-step looper. You can see that it's a small loop. I'll get that in the camera. Yeah, it's like a 4 or 5mm loop. And it just made this chain go super, super fast. I love making chain. So this was just a super fast project. And here's another one I use with their bead strands from their website. I called this one Snowbellas. So they look like little snow ladies. I just stacked boho beads that I had from my stash with some of the beads from their strands from their website. And I made little Snowbellas instead of snowmen. So that's what I made, and that's what I wanted to dedicate this video to. So let me remove this out of your way so that you can see some really fun things that are happening on my table here. So I apologize. I had this strand. It's called Home Alone. I'll go ahead and tell you in case you want to go to the website and look at what it is. I kind of dove into it immediately when I saw it because I just love the colors in it, and I already had started making an earring with it. So that's what I've kind of got going, and I wanted to show you how you can make a necklace and then also show you some beads. So before we get started on making the chain, this strand is Hallmark Christmas, and it is I love these colors in turquoise and red and gold. So beautiful. I love those colors together, these little crystal hearts in the strand. This one's still available on the website. So is Home Alone. This is Home Alone. I love these boho beads. I sort of have collected them over the years. Look at those little crystals inside the middle there, the little diamonds. And then I love these. These are so pretty. I love the color. They're not quite red. They're a pink, a smaller boho bead. And then I really am going to challenge myself to try to make a necklace with these large hole beads. I have an idea about what I can do. And then these are really cool. This purple. I love the colors in this set. But this was Home Alone, which I already broke open because I got really excited about it. It happens. And then this is Elf. I don't believe this one is available on the site, but look at those beautiful greens in there with the pops of red. This is a beautiful strand, and there's some large hole beads in there too. And 3 boho beads, this white one and these 2 green ones. Such a fabulous strand. And I thought that maybe it might go well with that, but I'm not 100% sure I'll use it, but I thought that looked really pretty together with the heishi beads that they have, these heishi strands on their website. Okay, so that's the Christmas stuff. And I also have the Spirit of the Woods collection from them that I thought was fabulous. I have not had a chance to see if they're still available. I will put links to everything that's still available in the there's like a comment section in YouTube, so I will put that in there. And then Jesse James Beads has lots of seed beads on their website, which I love. This is a crushed violet collection. And I have a winter-themed pendant that I would like to make. I found this on their website that I thought paired so beautifully with it. I think it was called Sweater or something like that. Sweater Weather. I'll put a link if they still have some. But it was on their website in one of the deeper pages of their website. And I thought it just went so beautiful with these colors of the seed beads. And then I also found this really cool set of blue jean dangles. There's like 3 velvety balls in there, and then there's like 3 of the blue jean, which I thought was fabulous. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet, but I have something in mind that I'd like to make with, I'll show you, I'll just show you. So it's this piece here with these seed beads and then these blue jean balls, which I thought went fabulously together for something, so for like a winter style pendant or maybe a necklace. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm still working on it, but I thought that all went just wonderfully together. And look at these little polymer clay snowmen. These are just so cute. They're tiny and cute. So, so cute. Okay, so that was those finds there. And then I'll just quickly share with you the Spirit of the Woods. This is the owl. And there might be tape here. Let me get the tape off and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the tape where I can open these for you. So this is Spirit of the Woods, the owl. Intuition, wisdom, and protection. I love, love, love these mixes. Look at this. Some little yellow and white owls. Oh, and little laser owls. These are connectors. Look at those. I'm just going to give you a glimpse because I know we're limited on time. I try to keep these videos to 30 minutes, and I want to show you how to make a simple chain for a necklace in case you want to do some gift giving for simple chains. So that was the Spirit of the Woods, the owl. This is Spirit of the Woods, the oak tree, my favorite. Good luck, abundance, strength. Look at this one with these wooden beads in there. How awesome. These little like lampwork beads here too. Wow. Just a little peek at Spirit of the Woods. I'll be making something with these. This is the mushroom, transformation, health, prosperity. And I think, oh my gosh, I think this one's my favorite. Look at these darling mushroom charms. How amazing is that mix? So beautiful. Reds and grays and creams and dark greens. Oh, and then this one is Spirit of the Woods, the fox. Cunning, beauty, and playfulness. I love fox. They are such beautiful little animals. Look at these tubes. That is so fabulous. I love that. That's like gold or brass and then orange on the other side. These remind me of the crystal etched beads I've been seeing lately. And then there's a little fox, little sleeping fox. How cute are those charms? Okay, so there's lots of good stuff in there. You have to check it out. I will post links again if these are still available on their website. I did not get a chance to look before I started my video because I have been pretty busy and I wanted to get going on making something here on YouTube. So I'm going to move some of these things out of the way. I'm going to put the elf strand and Hallmark Christmas to the side because we're going to work with Home Alone. And then I will be posting my project with this soon too, as soon as I can get to it. I'm hoping I can get to it soon. I've been running a little bit short on time, and I can't forget this little charms. Jesse James Beads has a bunch of these charms on their website too. This one is Polar Bear, and this was a snowflake, and I think that snowflake one comes in a pair. So I'm just adjusting my camera here just a little bit to make sure you can see. And I'm going to be working with the smaller of the loops that makes like a, I think it makes like a 3 or 4 millimeter. I said 4 or 5, but maybe it's 3 or 4 millimeter loop. So, and I have some scraps of 20 millimeter gold wire. And I think I do recommend either using 20 millimeter or 18 gauge wire when you're making these for chain. I just think they hold up better and they don't come apart as quickly because you're not wire wrapping. So I'm using this Beadalon German style wire in 20 gauge to make my loops. And then I'm just starting out with a little bit of a longer piece because you can make your own eye pins. You can certainly go out and buy your own eye pins. But I like to buy wire and spools. And so I make my own eye pins at this point. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the one-step looper, and where you have this little peg, you're going to insert your wire through. And you're going to waste just a little bit because you're making the eye pin. And then let's see if I can do this on camera with my hands around the... So at that point, you're just going to push down on the pliers and you're going to just come around and it's going to make a loop. And that is really all there is to it. Get my wire out of there, it's stuck in my little pile of wire here. And then I just take my pliers. It got a little bit bent. I obviously need a little more practice. So I'm just taking my wire and then I'm just like so, closing it up. And you can make your own head pins like that. It's already formed the wire for you. And then you're just feeding a bead on. Let me make sure I don't, because I do want to make a focal for this necklace and I wanted that to be my focal. And it's a small focal, so I'm going to just have a few things here about it. And I'm using this bigger bead for my earrings, so I want to make sure I don't use those. And I'm using a rondelle, and I'm using the 2 little heishi beads that are in the strand for my earrings. I do want to make sure I don't use those. So there's that, there's that. Come around on the other side and make sure. And then I think all my other beads are going to be, that's going to be a necklace. And so I think I may do something like that. I did cut apart a chain reaction. This is one of the amber toned, and I cut all the beads off and I cut the links. I'm going to use the links to make chain with the beads from the Home Alone strand. So I'm going to do that. And then in between, so there's another one. So I did 4 links at a time, and then I did a 2 link for my earrings. So I want to save that so I don't use it. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I've got my chain, and I can show you when we're done with making the links how I make the focal. But here we have our link that we made, or the loop that we made for our eye pin. And then you're just going to feed your bead on. I would suggest that if your beads are a little bit heavy, that you would use maybe 18 gauge wire, and that way the loops don't get stressed. So you just have to kind of look at your beads, and if the beads are heavier, you want to use a heavier gauge wire. My beads here aren't horribly heavy, so I'm comfortable with using a 20 gauge wire. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my one-step looper again. And then I'm putting the wire all the way through that loop on this side. As you can see, it holds it in place. I'm holding my bead next to this little lip that comes up. And once again, I'm going to, I gotta grab it and make sure your bead is in place. And then you're just going to cut it. And as you can see, it makes another loop. And all I do is, if it's still open, sometimes, depending on the bead, it will close all the way. Sometimes I have to help it a little bit. It's not a perfect tool, but it does help sort of make things a little easier when you're making jewelry. And all I do is just straighten my loops out so that when you're making chain, it should look like that. So one loop is going up and one loop is to the side, as you can see. And then just making sure everything's straight. So if you have eye pins that are already made, all you're doing is making a loop on the other side because the one loop is already done. In my case, I buy the wire by the spools, so I'm just making wire loops as I need them. So there's one. Let's try another one. And I always start with my wire. You see how it cuts it at an angle? Hopefully you can see that there. I clip that away and I start with a flush end because I always like that and to meet the wire on the other side. So again, I'm placing my wire in the one-step looper like so, where the wire comes out, it jets out that little hole there on the other side. And I'm keeping it flush against my finger, my forefinger on my right here. I'm keeping it there. A little bit better. And then my wire gets caught. Okay. There. And then you can see it made the loop. I'm just straightening it out. And I'm going to close it a little bit. And then just fixing it to where it's a little bit, there we go. And then warming my wire a little bit. And then this side got a little bit bent, so I'm going to straighten it a little bit. And I'm going to do my other bead on this side. So there's that side. Grabbing my one-step looper. I'm pushing my bead to the edge right there. And I have to grab the plier just a sec. It's a little cumbersome trying to do it on camera because I need to get my hands around. There we go. And see how my bead is flush against that little black piece there. There's like a little lip that comes up right there. And then I'm just closing it around it. And then again, depending on the size of your bead, you may find that you have to close it a little bit. But for the most part, it's not a perfect tool, but it does help, you know, make your loops. There we go. So that one's done. And then I'm thinking that I can go ahead and connect. All you're doing is opening the loop, and depending on how this hangs, you may need to add a jump ring. I'm not sure how. I'm going to try it. I'm just going to add that link there like that. But if it doesn't hang right, you can always add a jump ring, and that will give you a little more movement in your piece, so that sometimes if the loop is too small, it will kink up like that. And so if you're finding when you hang it, you can always open that loop and add a jump ring for more movement. And there's that piece. So I am going to do that. I think I'm going to do this. That's what I'm going to do. And then if you don't want 4 links, you can always shorten them. You can put 3. I think I might do that, and I might add 1 link here to do that, to give it a little bit of a different design. So I'm just going to clip that away, and I'm going to put that there. And now, since I've shown you how you can do your loops with the one-step looper, let me show you how I make my focal. So for the focal, I am going to use some heavier 18 gauge wire in gold. This is also German style wire. And I'm probably going to use about, it's not a very big focal. I'll probably use around 4 inches, just so I have enough to make my loops. And again, I'm going to begin with the flush side, and I'm going to insert my wire here, like so. And I hope I cut a long enough piece. And so I've got it pushed up against the back side, the wire, and I'm holding down with my thumb, and I'm kind of pushing up with my forefinger, and I'm just letting it go and it do its work. And you can push back a little bit on that wire. That was much better. I did that one much better. It takes practice. But as you can see, it makes it quick. And then you can just hold your pliers in place, close that loop, and you're ready to go. You have a loop. Like so. Okay, so I'm going to add this bead here, and I'm going to add maybe one of these little star snowflakes. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to add my boho bead. Let's see, do I like that? I think I like that. I'm going to add another rondelle to this side. There we go. And this is just a simple, beautiful little focal that you can make using the one-step looper. So I'm going to do the same thing. And of course I cut my wire too long, but you can use the 18 gauge wire for something else. So again, I'm pushing my bead up against this black piece that jets up where you've put your wire through. I'm pushing down with my thumb and up with my forefinger on the back side of the wire looper, and I'm just going to grab it. I'm going to grab it with my hands, and I'm going to make sure, whoops, that that bead is pushed all the way up against there, because if you don't, you'll have a gap. All right, and so now I'm going to just let it go and push down and clip and cut. There we go. And now I have my loop again on this side that I'm just going to close up. If I can get my hands to cooperate with me. And I do want my loops for my focal to go in a straight line. I want them to be, there we go. And then I'm just going to push up on them just a little bit. So I make a little dip in them, And that is going to be my focal. And I'm just making sure my wires on my loops on each end are straight up. Yes, okay, I need to adjust this one. So I turned it up, and I'm just going to adjust this one a little bit so that it's up, like so. Okay. Look how sparkly this one is. Okay, so then I'm just giving it a little bend, like that. All right, so I've got my focal, and this necklace is designed to just sit at the base of the neck. I am going to add a jump ring on this one so that I have a little bit of space. I want a little space in my necklace focal, but I'm going to directly attach this end to this end. So we can go ahead and do that since I've got it made. And I'm just checking on the time. We have about 5 minutes, so we'll keep working. So I'm adding this link to this side. That. And I'm going to add, I've got a jump ring that's already opened. I must have used it and then decided not to use it. And I always leave them open so that I don't keep opening and twisting them, because the more you do that, the weaker they will get. So I tend to leave them open once I've opened them. That way they can be used again. There we go. And I'm making sure my loops, I open them from front to back, never side to side, and making sure that I have a really close connection there with my loop. There's no gaps. So there we have the beginnings of our simple beaded necklace. And I will post pictures on Instagram and Facebook so that you can see the finished product. And I'll keep going. We have a couple minutes. I'll just do this other side. So I am going to clip away another one of these links to add there. And take a minute to wish you a happy holiday season. I hope that it's going well and you're enjoying yourself. Okay, I'm going to open one side, and that you're getting time to spend with friends and your loved ones. I am not sure that I will get to make another video before Christmas, so if not, I wish you the merriest of holidays and a happy new year. And I will definitely be back in the new year. So I'm just closing that loop there. And I'm going to add the other link to the other side. And I've so enjoyed spending time with you today. It's been a pleasure. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to ask. And again, I'll be posting links to all these beautiful, beautiful beads that I found from Jesse James Beads. And I'm going to go ahead and add this jump ring. And I will just continue to work until we have reached the 30-minute mark. There we go. And again, I'm closing the jump ring so that there's no gap. You may have to wiggle it back and forth to get there, but you don't want any gap in your jump ring. So there is the beginning of our necklace. I'm going to clip this one off on this side. And this is what I was meaning by it getting kinked up. I may have to go back in and add jump rings. You can easily undo it. But if it keeps doing it and it won't sit straight without doing that, a jump ring will fix that. So I'm taking that link off. All right. So I have this, and so I think I want to add this next, and then I'll come back down with a smaller size as I come around, and then I'll put this one on the back side, and I'll save these little snowflakes for something else. Again, I hope that you enjoyed my sharing with you today, and if there's any questions or you want to see something, please don't hesitate to make a comment. Please like my video and subscribe, and I so appreciate you. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. Until we meet again.